Text anonymization is a relevant process that we put in place if you want to remove the identity of a person mentioned in the text and the text itself. So think about cases like police records or healthcare dossiers in healthcare organizations where there's information contained in text data that reveals the individual. With text anonymization, we try to detach the identity of individuals from the text itself.
Well, text data comes up in all kinds of fields, ranging across social sciences and humanities and other aspects as well. In the particular field that we work in, which is crime science, a lot of text data is generated by the police, but also by other agencies as well. These could be things like the kind of free text descriptions of crime events that are taken every time a crime is reported, but even things like interviews with offenders or other descriptions of criminality in one way or another. The issue that we have at the moment is that these text sources are extremely rich in information, but it's something that we can't access as a research community because of legal and ethical constraints. And so what we would like to do is be able to get over those hurdles so that we can access these kind of data sets and unlock things from within them, which might tell us more about how crime is happening and about the kinds of behaviors that are involved in crime. So these might be things such as identifying new kinds of crime types or identifying new modus operandi, ways that crimes are committed, which might not have been apparent just from the kind of quantitative data that we might be able to have access to today. More generally, I think this kind of data crops up in other fields, including medicine and epidemiology, and we would hope that the kinds of tools that we build for our particular research questions would be applicable in those kinds of fields as well.
The current procedure to anonymize text data really is a manual one. So this could entail that a person with a vetted security level, for example, in the police, goes through text manually and really crosses out information that might reveal the identity. And that's problematic because it impedes the scaling up of that process. And another problem we see with this is that the current tools that are available are not properly validated. So we really don't know how good they are in actually detaching the identity from individuals from the text.
So I think the two biggest challenges to anonymizing text data are the what to anonymize and the how to anonymize this. The what refers to the exact pieces of information in a text that you need to anonymize, that you need to redact for the text to be successfully anonymized. This might seem to be easy from a human perspective because we have this intuition of what we need to anonymize for individuals to not be identifiable anymore. Whereas in a computer setup, this is much more difficult to achieve. And the how then means if we assume that we now have found all the words and phrases that we need to anonymize, we need to find a way for replacing those words and phrases in a semantically meaningful way. So there are basically two ways of how you can do this. You can either say, okay, we just replace everything with, for example, a capital letter X. But the problem of this is that the resulting text then might not have the same semantic meaning as the original anonymized version anymore. So what we aim to do with TextWash is finding replacements for these words such that the semantics of the sequence are retained after anonymization. So it's still valuable for quantitative and qualitative text analysis.